Hello everyone and welcome to Team Banished. Thanks for joining us again. As always, my name is Tebow and with me,
I'm Morvox.
thanks for having me here, Morvox. Now, we do want to apologize for a little bit of the delay. We had some technical issues we had to work through involving recasting some games. Anyway, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and bring StarCraft up here for us. Right there, and let's go ahead and jump right into the game. Now this was sent in to us, submitted by a player. I just want to bring that up. Thanks to WolfmanAlpha for sending this in. We do really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start the game from the beginning here. So now, as such, since he sent it in, we are going to mostly be looking at it from his point of view. But we should still, like I said, be able to point out some of the key things that we can do to improve his game.
Definitely. So up here in the top right-hand position, we have the red Terran player. It's EX2's WolfmanAlpha.
Alright, and then in the bottom blue, it's going to be the Zerg Classic. Now this is not the Classic that we see go to tournaments. It looks a Diamond player here.
Definitely. He is not a GSL champion. Yet.
Okay, so now this is the beginning of the game, so we're not really expecting to see too much here. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and go faster until we get to maybe about like the 15 supply mark.
Fast forward here a little bit. Extract the trick. Some Zergs like to do it, some don't. It's really a matter of preference.
It really is. I know back in Brood War, almost everyone did it to give you that advantage, but here it's pretty much the same either way. I'll go ahead and start slowing this down so we don't miss anything. But so far, pretty standard. We see Supply Depot going down on the ramp. And the Zerg is spreading his overlords pretty efficiently.
Yeah, he's going to be able to see if there's any type of early aggression coming out from WolfmanAlpha. He's going to go ahead and take his natural expansion. WolfmanAlpha is going to probably throw down his first barracks here any second now. No, actually, quick CC. Very greedy opening from WolfmanAlpha.
Yeah, command center first. You know, that isn't always, like you were saying, interesting build, but we are going to see him have to put a barracks down behind this. Because Zerg can definitely take advantage of an early expand if they see it.
Yeah, WolfmanAlpha is going to want to put down at least 2 barracks if he's wanting to survive any type of Baneling or Zergling aggression out of Classic. Classic can pretty much kill him at any point if he's too greedy and doesn't get enough unit structures built and enough Marines to defend an early attack.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Now, as you can see here, it looks like Classic, putting his gas down. He did get a natural. He's just now getting this Overlord here, but he's not sending it in, which he could easily do. There's no Marines to shoot him down. He could look through the whole base, and he hasn't yet. So, if we actually take a look at what he's seen.
Classic clearly has a huge view of the CC right in front of him. He knows how greedy WolfmanAlpha is playing. I wouldn't be surprised if Classic went for a fast Zerg base.
I could see that happening too, for sure. Now, we're going to see him probably saturate up here. It looks like Classic. Now, I have seen this game already, but even just from watching it, it looks like he's not going to go for any kind of early aggression. He's spending his money efficiently on just droning up.
Queens.
Queens. Are sure. Now, this is interesting. I did like this, actually, when I watched the game. His command center, he doesn't put it out at his natural. It's really easy to defend back here. He actually puts it down at normally what people would put at his third. How do you feel about that?
I feel like if he was going to do that, he should have made it a planetary fortress. Because it's way easier to defend that position with a planetary than it is with an orbital, because Zerglings can just surround it and kill it before you can get your Marines down there from your main base.
That's actually a really interesting thing. I can agree with that. Yeah, if you wanted to make sure that this structure is going to be defended, a planetary fortress would be good. I know Zerg can, especially come in here and punish you when you're not looking.
Well, he is throwing down bunkers, so he has an idea that Zerg could come, he could come and kill me at any moment. He knows that does he know that there's a second base for Classic? Has he done any scouting at all yet this game?
Now, if we go over here, he did do scouting. You can see that he has seen the natural, but he hasn't really been over there since. But now that you're actually speaking about it, he is sending our SCV just to poke up in there. I don't imagine it's going to get too far.
Okay, there is a Baneling nest going down for Classic, but will he see it? No. SCV goes down. and he sees nothing. He has the same information he had before he sent the SCV over there.
Yeah.
And now Speed is on the field, and Banelings are about to complete, and now we're talking about that Baneling-Zergling attack from earlier. Will WolfmanAlpha be able to hold it?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at his position, it doesn't seem like he's too worried here. He's taking his third, which is, I mean, he's definitely going to put himself in a lead there. Not fully saturated at this base, but he's still building SCVs, still building SCVs here. His only real defensive structure, this bunker, I'm not sure how well that could hold. But so far, he hasn't seen any aggression. He even walked an SCV in there and seen no units. So he's got to feel pretty secure, at least for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's gonna continue to throw down these barracks here and build more CCs. He just started STEM. I feel like he could have started STEM maybe a minute earlier, maybe even sooner than that. He was kind of floating minerals over there for a minute. He's continuing to build SCVs, and he's looking like he may throw down his double upgrades here when his second engineering bay finishes.
Yeah, I agree with that. The tech could have teched up a little bit sooner. Now, just to mention, if we haven't mentioned this earlier, these are 2 diamond level players. WolfmanAlpha did send the video in, and he mentioned to me that he was a little bit rusty. He's kind of just coming back, and he's trying to shake off the rust a little bit. So that could be kind of contributed to what you were saying, like, hey, you could tighten that up, maybe do that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I definitely see an earlier stem timing helping him now, because now there's a massive amount of Zerglings and Banelings on the way, and WolfmanAlpha is just going to have to push in here and take out this third base or do something, because now Classic's about to get his lair tech, and the next thing comes the Mutalisks. And WolfmanAlpha, I don't think he's prepared for the Mutalist switch yet. Not a single turret on the field.
Yeah, now let's go back to that scouting we were talking about earlier. What has he seen? He hasn't seen the third go down. He hasn't really seen anything. He's seen this at first. He's seen the natural go down. I remember he tried to poke back up in here, and it got killed. So he doesn't really know anything's down there. He doesn't know what's coming at him, if it's layer tech, if it's he hasn't even been doing scans. You know what I mean? There's no reason he shouldn't have been scanning here and scanning here to at least see what the tech is that he's going to be facing.
Definitely see Classic floating so many minerals right now. I'm kind of wondering what he's going to invest all those resources in.
Mutas.
He's probably just going to save up and get like 10, 15 mutas somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. I mean, if you're going layer tech and you're banking up like this, it's because you're doing a giant switch. Hydras you want to usually mix in with your Roach Ling army, so you don't float the minerals. You just kind of have some minerals when you get there to put into Hydras. No, he's floating them for mutas, no doubt. Now, the one thing we will say about WolfmanAlpha here is he's been definitely on his game when it comes to getting money and getting resources. His ratio seems a little bit off. There's more gas than mineral. I mean, is there need to have both these 3-3 if you don't have enough minerals to spend with it? Maybe he could just take one of these until later.
Yeah, I feel like he could have taken one gas at his third base and still been okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just like I said, just to get that money flopped back around, because you usually want more. You want to get your resources fast enough to where you can spend it kind of evenly with your gas. Otherwise, here we go. We have a 2 engineer base with 1-1 just finished. How soon is he going to go into 2-2?
2-2 should be coming up here within the next second or two. Should pop up any second now. No, he's going to continue to delay his 2-2. He's going to throw down, let's see here, missile turret number 1 on the way. So, did he see the Spire?
If we go, I don't believe he's seen it. No, he hasn't scanned since.
No.
He has no idea. He's sending another a Marine down here now to kind of check out the situation.
So here comes Joe the Marine. He's going to tread through the creep here, see if he can find the third base. Oh, and he's surrounded by Lings, and he's going to get crushed. Joe the Marine, his legacy didn't last for very long.
No, it did not. The hero Marine. Well, I mean, his friend here might go take a look. But otherwise, he hasn't seen any kind of switch. He doesn't know what's coming. If we look up here, we do see ourselves, hey, Spire's almost done. Let's take a look. Boom. Just finished. So, how many mutas are we going to see? That's the real question. 18? 18 pop.
That's a lot of mutas.
That is a whole lot of mutas.
Plus 1 air also starting. That's really nice. But now come down the missile turrets.
Now, we did, just to clarify, we did cast this game before, and due to some issues, we're recasting it. Now, here's one of the biggest things we've seen that can be corrected. The scan goes down, he sees mutas, he sees Spire, he sees mutas, and we notice this. Look at these mines. We said this before last game. These mines could easily have just been thrown into these mineral lines and burrowed. as soon as he's seen these mutas coming.
All it would have taken was a few clicks and sending them to each mineral line, and it looks like Classic's going to move in here with how many mutas? Can we get a units count?
Yeah, that was 18 if I remember correctly.
18 total mutalists now moving towards WolfmanAlpha's base.
Yep, 18.
Now suddenly it's on WolfmanAlpha. Can he defend this? He's going to come right into the missile turrets, pick one off, take down a few SCVs, fly away. I don't like the position of the supply depots, because I feel like he could do exactly this. Pick off a supply depot, fly away, fly back, pick off another supply depot. Now suddenly the entire army is sitting there trying to defend the supply depots, and the Zerg just continues to macro out.
Yeah, I agree with that. At home he's got banelings and lings to defend himself, but I see what you're saying where these buildings are kind of put out there a little bit further out where these mutas can just pick it off a little bit.
There should be at least a mine near his third base, or what he took, his third.
Yeah, I mean, I still see mines here, but they're not really... I mean, okay, so he has some burrowed back here now. That's pretty good, but there's no reason for them to all be clumped up here. You know, take 2 of them, send them to this mineral line. Take 2 of them, send them to this mineral line. Put 2 of them in this mineral line. Just kind of have them spread out, so if as soon as the mutas start flying over your base, they're being punished no matter where they go.
Looks like he's going to unburrow his mines, and he may move out here with his entire army. WolfmanAlpha is floating a lot of minerals. He's starting his 3-3 right now, and he's continuing to build mines, marauders, and more missile turrets.
Yeah, let's go ahead and actually zoom in on this, because this is important. We do see him getting 3-3 here for his ground army and by army. That's very strong. Now, if we look at the mutas, they're 0-1, not even researching anything else. He's not even going for 1-1 or 2-0.
And what's the ground armor upgrade?
Ground, right now is 0-0. Yeah, he's getting 1-1 for melee and ground.
So Classic finds himself in a position where he's behind 2 upgrade levels, and running Mutalists into 3-3 Marines is like running Mutalists into a grinder of death.
Yeah.
I don't foresee how he's going to be able to engage that. Looks like there was some issues with the game at one point before this replay was sent to us. He's going to dart around here with his Mutalist, and what WolfmanAlpha is going to do at this point, he can base trade.
I like this push here. You know, he's got the mines to fall back into. He's leading with the marauders because he knows there's banelings. This is overall good. Okay.
He's going to try to come in here and surround the Terran army, but he threw away so many banelings in that engagement. I feel like WolfmanAlpha maybe should have ran the opposite way, up towards his mines instead of away from his mines.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The way he had it set up, he had the Marines here, the marauders in front of it, and instead of running back into that stuff, he kind of just ran away. I feel like if he would have ran towards the mines, they would have cleaned up a lot of those.
Ouch!
Those Zerglings.
A lot of damage going on to the Mutalists. All the mines, however, are cleaned up, and 3-3 for WolfmanAlpha is about to complete. Looks like we're still about even in supply, but Classic still floating a lot of minerals, so is WolfmanAlpha. So definitely seeing the rest up from both players, but this, however, is a Diamond League level game, and 20 more Mutalists on the way.
Yeah, 20 more mutas.
Mutalists are darting.
Yeah, definitely what you're saying about the money, I agree with. You know, with that kind of money, both of these people could be supply capped pretty easy, pretty fast, if they have the production behind it. Like this starport's not building anything, you know what I mean? That's all little things. This armor is not researching anything. Those are just little things like you're saying. That's the kind of the rust that you get. Those little things, if you tighten them up, they will help your game tremendously. Just spending this money, keeping it up. But just by watching it, the biggest thing I can say is mines. Just put some mines in your mineral lines.
For the love of God, all Terran players, please, if you're watching this, put mines in your mineral line. Your SCVs will thank you later.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of times, Terran and Protoss, when they play Zerg, they sometimes feel like, I can never move out. The mutas will just, you know, hit me as soon as they move out. Well, you put certain things there to defend yourself from that, you know. Litter mines, litter missile turrets. While those can't stop an army completely, that will definitely stop the harassment from getting overwhelmed.
He did lose one command center there. Was kind of greedy to put both command centers there, right there in his third base where the Mutalists could get them. He's going to come in here, and he's going to prevent this base from coming back up. He's going to snipe every missile turret, and I feel like if there was a mine or two in there, he wouldn't have been able to do that much damage and not get away with all of his Mutalists completely undamaged.
Yeah, I mean, he does have observers, but as you can see, they're just slightly slower than the mutas. So usually what ends up happening is the mutas will swing in, and before they can see the mine, boom, it'll shoot off, then it'll be revealed and killed. That's just, like I said, just punishing on them for flying over. Honestly, right now, as you can see, WolfmanAlpha is going to move out. He's kind of saying, like, okay, well, I can't sit there and chase all day. I have to leave a little bit at home, and I have to... That's good thinking. Zerg wants you to sit at your base when they have mutas. They want you to never come across the base, so they can do exactly what this, put macro hatches down, get all their bases saturated.
So it looks like there's a couple of 5 corruptors on the way here. And he's going to come in here and try to capture the Terran army again.
But that time was much better. He ran right through the mine. Right through the mine.
So now the Banelings are going to clean up what's left of the Marines, but there's still quite a bit of Marauders here on the field. Quite a bit of mines. He can definitely pick those up in the medevacs, and, well, not if we just come here and pick up everything.
Yeah, the meters are going to get everything here. He did kind of lose his army, but I loved how he ran through the mines that time. We just seen those Zerglings get cleaned up. If they hadn't have ran through the mines, that would not have been in his favor at all. Now here's reinforcements. Imagine if all those Lings and Banelings were still here.
Looks like we got 5 Broodlords on the way and a single Swarm Host. I'm not sure what the deal is with the single Swarm Host, but the 5 Broodlords definitely come with positions. Flies Mutalisk directly to these Marines. The Mutalists are going down one by one. This is a terrible engagement.
And there goes the hero Swarm Host.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses every single Mutalist, or just about every single Mutalist in this engagement.
Yeah, that was just an awful trade on Classic's part. That was great on Wolfman's part. He just knew every time that Marine was lost, how many mutas did it kill? It was so worth it.
And now we see WolfmanAlpha moving out with this larger army. The supplies may look very close, but the strength of the army goes to WolfmanAlpha being on 3-3 upgrades against Mutalists on what? Still 1-0?
Yeah, still 1-0. Now, if we look at the money, just once again, I want to look at the money here. Wolfman, you're spending your minerals, but you're gas heavy. That says something. That means that you can more effectively spend your gas.
Ooh, that was very nice spending on all those maintenance.
Yeah, for sure. And then as for Classic, he's just floating minerals. There's no reason he couldn't just continuously flood Lings till the end of the game.
I like how WolfmanAlpha is using this little bush here. He's going to stay back behind the bush, wait till Classic moves his Broodlords across, and I wouldn't be surprised if he snipes all the Broodlords right now. The Mutalists are out of position.
Yeah, he had a small force up here that kind of distracted him while he moves in and gets the Broodlords themselves. Now once again he's abusing that bush, as you were saying.
Every single Broodlord just about to down, and now 3-3 Marines are fighting against Bio. Corruptors aren't really doing much when just poking at the medevacs. I'm pretty sure just about every Zerg unit is going to die today. WolfmanAlpha finds himself victorious.
Yeah, you can't trade like that. You cannot trade mutas against Marines like that.
And now, of course, you come with lower leagues, comes the BM. You can't quit StarCraft over one loss. You should definitely watch the replay, just like we're doing, and try to critique and try to make improvements.
Yeah, obviously, we have hindsight, so it's kind of easier to see the mistakes that we make or anyone makes. In this case, obviously, even as Wolfman said, massive upgrade advantage takes it. The 3-3 Marines, it's just a simple matter of fact that they're going to shoot meters out of the sky super easy. That's what happened this game, and I think it went very well. How do you feel about this game?
I feel like both players can definitely use a lot of improvement. I'm not saying that I'm a perfect player, that you're a perfect player, that any of us are perfect players, or even Grandmaster players. But if you can watch your replay just like we did, and just pick out the tiny things that you feel like you can improve on, you can improve your play. You can become a better player if you just watch the replay and try to analyze what you feel like you should work on. You should find your weakness, pinpoint it, and try to tackle that every time you play. If that goal is not to get supply capped, don't get supply capped. Work as hard as you can to build that pylon when you need it. What do you feel like Classic could have done as a Zerg player to put himself in a better position? I felt like neglecting his upgrades.
Neglecting his upgrades was, easily the first thing. With the money they had, there's no reason he shouldn't have been on 3-3, or just continuously upgrading every time he could. His macro was good in the sense where, he expanded, he put down more hatcheries, so he had the larva. But it's just the money. If you're not spending your money, how are you going to win?
I completely agree. I feel like WolfmanAlpha probably can scout a little more. There was a time in the game he had no idea what Classic was doing, and I feel like if he would have seen the Spire, he would have at least been able to get his mines into his mineralites faster. Maybe that's what was going through his mind. He wasn't really sure where the mutas were going to come in from.
I do remember when he scanned. He scanned. He's seen them all pop. At that moment when he had those five mines just sitting here, he instantly should have moved them. Just instantly. There was no detection with those first 15 mutas. The game could have been over.
So there you have it. WolfmanAlpha finds himself victorious. Thank you for sending us the replay, Wolfman. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I do apologize for the delay. We were insistent on getting it done, though. We're going to get this cleaned up and sent out to you. Now, I do just want to say, one last thing. We do appreciate you sending in. If anyone else wants us to go over these videos, we will gladly do that for you.
So please, keep a lookout. On July 19th, we have our first show match. It's going to be QXC versus Crank. It's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Please come out and support both players. If anything, come out and support them. We will have donations that go directly to the prize pool and for the funding of future events. So come out and support esports.
And as always, thank you for joining us on Team Banished.
Have a good night.